Pittsburgh. Well, now it's our pleasure to welcome multimedia journalist of SuperTalk Mississippi News, Caleb Sailors.
Gerard, I'm keeping your seat warm over here in the studio.
I see that. All right, we kind of got things reversed a little bit. Well, this week, of course, Caleb, the big news out of the Magnolia State was the groundbreaking ceremony for Amazon Web Services in Madison County. I was privileged to attend that event, serving on the Madison County Economic Development Authority Board, and it was teeming with dignitaries, shall we say. Of course, the governor was on hand. Both of our U.S. senators were on hand as well. Representatives Benny Thompson and Michael Guest were also present. Of course, the mayors affected here, the mayor of Ridgeland, Gene McGee, the Mayor William Truly of the city of Canton. We had supervisors, etc. So it was a big old day, big old time. What you got for us on that?
And, of course, we were there, too. Our news team was there. I was there, and our new hire, Ben Milam, who has been on the radio waves this week. People have gotten used to his voice. We were both there covering the event. And, you know, obviously, anytime you have a big economic development project coming to Mississippi, it's a huge deal. And, you know, this is the largest one ever. And Gerard, one thing that really captivated me about the event was when one of the AWS representatives spoke. It's not like they're just building these hyperscale data centers in Mississippi, you know, the one in Canton and the one in Ridgeland. They're not building these, all right, here's these facilities, here's these jobs, we're done. No, they're really investing in the community. All their workforce development initiatives where they're wanting to train the future of Mississippi's workforce, the facility they're building in Canton that we were at the groundbreaking. And then there are initiatives to help students, you know, putting money back into the classroom in Madison County and Jackson and other parts of central Mississippi to train the future of Mississippi's workforce. It was really neat to see that Amazon isn't just stopping at, you know, building their facility and being done with it. They're really wanting to make the community part of their initiative in Mississippi.
Yeah, it was really a very exciting ceremony, and I think we're just getting started, honestly. You could read between the lines in the remarks from the Amazon representatives, the one that is assigned to this particular project that's in the area, and then another individual who I can't remember the exact title, but vice president of global data centers or something to that effect. It was very exciting to hear that they've got extremely aggressive plans just as a company for their data center build out, artificial intelligence driving a lot of that, but also significant plans for their partnership and their investment in the state of Mississippi.
Well, and nationwide too, Amazon, wherever they've located, they're usually the highest taxpayer in that district, so that's going to benefit the school systems naturally. It's going to benefit people wanting a job. So you've got people that are going to be paid high wages, over 1,000 jobs, and it's going to benefit the community as a whole. I mean, you see that, you know, there were a lot of concerns about the grid, about the electric grid. Well, Energy is facilitating that to make sure that ratepayers aren't seeing increases in their bills and making sure that they're not experiencing power outages on a frequent basis. But also you're seeing that Amazon wants to make the community part of its mission in Mississippi, which they're wanting to hire Mississippians. They're wanting to contract with Mississippi companies. They're wanting to really make their stamp in the Magnolia State. And I just see it as a net positive for Mississippi.
No doubt about it. Let's turn our attention to this story that's been getting much attention across the state, and that is the possible housing of illegal children, migrant children, at the abandoned Harris Casino in Tunica. What's the latest on that?
Gerard, I call this story the gift that keeps on giving. And there's a lot of information, but we're trying to sift through what's true and what's not. A lot of hearsay going on, but allegedly there is a coerced effort by an unknown private entity who is wanting to take over the Harris Casino complex in Tunica that's not been in operation since 2014 and use it to house around 2,000 undocumented migrant children, so those ages 17 and under. Excuse me. Well, what this is the Department of Health and Human Services has the Office of Refugee Resettlement, and that's how these immigrants would be moved around, right? How they would be taken to this facility, hypothetically. And so the idea is that a private entity, whether it be a firm or a person, would be able to cash in about $150 per migrant per night and acquire millions and millions of dollars to house these people in this Tunica casino. Now, we've had state lawmakers that have said, no, we cannot have this happening in Tunica County. We've even had the Tunica County Sheriff's Department that was like, no, we can't house any additional influx of people, especially minors. We don't have the hospital capacity to do that. We're already sending emergency care patients to Memphis. The residents we already have in Tunica, we have to send them elsewhere for medical attention, and we can't facilitate these people. And then even State Senator Josh Harkins was on with Paul Gallo yesterday morning, and he even said, like, what are these kids going to do? What are they going to do with these children? How long are they going to be there? What's going to be the supervision? Now, the board attorney for the Tunica County Board of Supervisors did say he didn't seem to think it would be a public nuisance to have all these migrants in this facility. He said that that the facility would have to adhere to strict federal guidelines. But there's a lot of public outcry. I know Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith said she's looking into this and wants to investigate and wants to make sure the federal government does not bring these people to Mississippi. Secretary of State Michael Watson has said that there's about a 17-state effort to try to bring this influx of migrants into their respective states, and Mississippi is confirmed to be one of them. There's even been allegations from a state representative that Congressman Benny Thompson is behind this move, or someone in his office is behind this move, because the Department of Homeland Security, which he's on the Homeland Security Committee in the House, is responsible for getting these undocumented minors or detaining them, acquiring them, however you want to say it. And then the Health and Human Services Department is the one responsible for locating them. And so there's a lot right now. We're still trying to get to the bottom of what's going on. We're still trying to figure out what's happening. But right now, the Board of Supervisors in Tunica County has not approved any formal plans to house these undocumented minors in this facility. And there haven't been any formal plans introduced to the public as well.
So do we have any information about that would indicate and confirm that any of these migrants are at the site at this point? Do we have a schedule of when they're expected to arrive, if not?
I have no earthly idea, Gerard. I've asked around. I've tried to find out. I know you were in DeSoto County recently. You could done some boots on the ground for us. I'm kidding, but I've asked some of our state representatives to keep me updated if they've heard anything as well, and I have not heard anything new. So whenever something new does happen, it'll be I will be one of the first to report on it on our airwaves here with our newscast and on SuperTalk.fm.
So it's our understanding that Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith has a meeting this morning with officials from Health and Human Services that apparently, because of this unique situation with the children, this is being handled by that agency as opposed to immigration, ICE.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to perhaps reach out to her office and see what came of that meeting later on today during the program even.
And I'll reach out as well, too. So whatever, if you don't get her on your program, it'll be on SuperTalk.fm. That's the wonderful thing about our partnership, Gerard.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so let's turn our attention to postseason baseball. What you got for us there?
Yeah, let's talk about the fun stuff, Gerard. A lot of this other stuff is draining. I'm a sports guy, so I've been enjoying watching these conference tournaments. And the Southern Miss baseball team, led by first-year head coach Christian Ostrander, is rolling right now in the Sun Belt tournament. They pulled away to win 6-5 over Troy yesterday. They advanced in the conference tournament. They're one win away from appearing in their second consecutive Sun Belt tournament title. They won the whole thing last year, the whole Sun Belt conference, and they have a chance at it again this year. And Mississippi State, a team that had been kind of magical in the SEC tournament, they walked off Ole Miss 3 nights ago to win 2-1. And then hit a go-ahead, scored 2 runs in the top of the 9th inning against Texas A&M 2 nights ago. Well, last night their luck ran out. The Bulldogs were trailing 4-1 in the in the bottom of the 9th inning, and put 2 additional runs on the board, made it a one-run ball game with a man on base, but grounded out to end the game. The Bulldogs are not out of the SEC tournament though. They're in the double elimination phase of the tournament. They will face Tennessee this afternoon. Now, thing is, Tennessee is the top seed in the tournament and the number 1 team in the country, so the Bulldogs have their work cut out for them, but it looks like they played themselves into a hosting spot as a regional host in the NCAA tournament.
Before you go, we just got a couple of seconds. Tell us about Mike Bianco.
Mike Bianco will return as Ole Miss head baseball coach for a 25th season. The season didn't go his way this past year and the year before, but athletics director Keith Carter is giving him a chance to right the ship. More can be found on SuperTalk.fm.
Appreciate it, Caleb. Thanks for all the information.
Thank you, Gerard.
Folks, we're at the Mississippi Armed Forces Museum at Camp Shelby. We're coming right back. Stay with us.